Thank you for having us here. This is a privilege to be here. We pride ourselves as a group of giving you good education and information. We are not here to sell you anything, okay? That usually you hear the word insurance and you run for the hills, or at least to your dental office for a better experience, and I get that. I give a little context as to some of the panelists here. I'm an underwriter. I'm one of the guys that you can blame for the price you pay and the coverage you enjoy. We have John and Gary, who are both with a warranty company. John in particular is going to talk a little bit about the history of residential warranty here in Texas and how it has kind of evolved into where we're at right now as an overall risk management situation. Okay, I'd like to kick it off by having John, you're the guy with all the gray hair. And you still have it, which is cool, right, Doug? And I'd like to have John talk about where we were back in the Texas residential warranty days to where we're at now and how that's affected insurance.
Well, I started kind of right about the time of the Alamo, so I've got some history here. But no, it's basically what happened in those days when, in the beginning, builders were subject to a lot of litigation, and so no one really realized what the liabilities and the warranties things were. We all relied on general liability policy. And back in those days, what happened is if something went bad or something went wrong, you called your insurance agent, and they just turned the claim in, they handled the claim, and the insurance company paid it, and moved on down the road. Well, after a while, insurance companies got tired of taking the hit, and so what they did is stop covering things. No more soils coverage, no more this coverage, no more mold coverage, no more EFIS coverage. All those things transpired, which left you holding the bag. Because as the laws were written, and Don can attest to these things, is that with our statute of limitations, our statute of repose, our liability time stretched out, you were on the hook for all of the houses or remodeling that you did for up to 10 years, possibly with a 2-year time on top of that, 12 years. That is a very long time. And so it became what's called aggregate liability. All that stuff piles up on top of each other, and if something went wrong, then you were liable for that, and people would go call an insurance or go to look for your insurance money, and if it wasn't there, they were looking at out of your pocket. So that's kind of where the warranty industry started, was with third-party warranty companies, which began back in the late 70s. Actually, it began with NAHB was the primary one that started, which was called, the first warranty company was called HOW, H-O-W. Some of you, I don't see anybody old enough to remember that, but it was called HOW. In those days, in the state of Virginia, domiciled in Virginia. There was a bill in Congress of the United States which said that all builders building a house had to put 10% of the selling price of that house in escrow for up to 10 years. It almost passed. And that would have been a death blow to our industry, and that's where the warranty company industry started. What happened was then they put it in the law, which was called the Code of Federal Regulations, which that's where the volume, the basis of what was covered under warranties. Well, it kind of just trickled down and transpired into our state. And as all states, it was kind of like the same thing, anything to do with a federal loan or in a federal part of it. That's where that warranty language came from. And so that was kind of the history, and as it grew, and as Texas grew, because of the wonderful lobbying job that we did here with TAB, and that we didn't have a lot of licensing, we didn't have a lot of insurance types of things, so that was kind of, we evolved into using a lot of warranty language, and that was the reason why. And then, of course, in 2009, I guess it was, where we ended TRCC, but prior to that, a number of TAB, a number of the key players in TAB wanted to create that program, and so that law was HB 730, which was written back around 2000, I guess, when we started doing that. And then we put that went through and got it passed to the legislature, and then the warranty that a lot of people use, the basis of it, was written at Texas A&M by the Texas Construction Sciences Department. That's where it came from. And so that's why it becomes even more important that you have a good risk management program to think of it in that manner, because of the degree of liability that you face and the language and the way that warranty was written is you've got to build so that that things don't fail, and that's kind of an interesting story in itself. And that's kind of where the warranty stuff came from.